Hey everyone, welcome to another Keymaster episode. I'm Sven Rajala, and today I've got a guest with me.
I'm Olle Johansson.
And we're going to go into VEXing today, which is the Vulnerability Exchange.
Exploitability Exchange.
Exploitability Exchange, there we go.
It's a very hard abbreviation.
Yeah, it's something that I feel I heard a lot about between the KubeCons last year. That's where I even first learned about it.
Yeah.
And I see it coming up a little bit more, but there's not a lot of talk or content about it that I really see mainstream. So I wanted to do an episode on that to kind of get into what it is. And I know you've got a lot of experience with that, so who better to have a conversation about it with?
I don't think many people have a lot of experience with it because it's rather new technology, but it's a piece of the puzzle that we definitely need. Let's say, Sven, that you bought the Olle Superotron 2000 from me.
All right.
And since I'm a compliant vendor, I make sure you get the SBOMs and you require that when buying this gadget from me.
Mm-hmm.
And you have your systems running your SBOMs with daily reports of vulnerabilities from the CVE databases.
Yeah.
Right? So you get a list saying, Olle have all these problems. I can't use his products in production anymore.
Oh yeah, I know how that feels. Okay.
Yeah. It's an interesting feeling.
Yeah, very familiar. Yes.
So what I'm doing now to keep you as a customer and keep you happy is I go through the same list in my product,
Mm-hmm.
and typically 90% of the issues won't affect you at all because I'm not touching that part of the code. I'm pretty certain that it doesn't work, give you problems at all.
So yeah, it's like it's not a problem even though it's getting flagged.
And the way I can communicate that is with a VEX file saying you're not affected. And I can add some little bit of text saying why I think you're not affected. Then it's up to you to trust me or not. For those issues where I say, oops, we have a problem, this will affect and put my customers at risk, I can actually give a state saying that this is in triage, I'm looking, I will be back. Then I can change that state saying, yes, we are affected, you have to upgrade. Or I can also add other information like, please shut your firewalls, these ports, while we're fixing this.
So you actually have a way to give notice.
It's an enumerated standard way for me to tell you about the status of the components that I have in my products in regards to the vulnerabilities that are reported for those components.
That's actually kind of convenient in a way because now you can have status between each piece of since the SBOM and it lines up with that to know, okay, this part's good, this part, oh, not so good, oh, this one really bad.
Exactly.
So then how do we consume that? How do I get a VEX?
That's where I noticed, we had a previous chat about SBOMs, and I noticed that there is a missing automation in this. And that's why we in OVAS were creating the Transparency Exchange API. That will be one way. Right now, vendors are publish VEX and similar formats called CSAF. Of course, there are many standards. There's always many standards. They publish on their websites, but that's not automation to me.
Yeah.
That's where I have to have staff that goes to the website and see, oh, has something new happened? We need automation because for some systems that are mission critical and complex, you probably have to publish new VEXs every day.
And then how do I know I can trust a VEX? Because I'm sure that question's probably going to come up where people are going to ask, how do I know that my, my Tron 2000, how do I know you really fix this? Or how do I know that, I know the pieces are in there from the SBOM, but then how do...
Yeah. And this is a very interesting topic because we have here in Europe the new legislation coming, Cyber Resilience Act. And in software development projects I've been part of, you take in a development team, you create a product, and then you let the people go to another project, or if they're consultants, you let them go. And you don't have that knowledge in the organization. Then after a while, you think you have a few bugs from support and you have new missing features you need to add in order to have something new at the next trade show. But now with Cyber Resilience Act, you need to have knowledge. You need to have those teams available and maintaining your source code every single day. continuously. You have a legal obligation. You have 5 years of free security upgrades for your product.
5 years.
5 years, according to the Cyber Resilience Act, or the lifetime of the project. A McDonald's toy with electronics, probably less. Some systems, legacy systems, probably more than 5 years. So this changes the business model for producing software.
Yeah.
That's why we also need automation to keep the costs down. But the point here is that the assessment of vulnerabilities and producing the result in the VEX files, that can't be fully automated. We're hoping for AI and all of that will solve all these problems. But in the end, there has to be someone who knows the architecture, knows the code of your product, and makes the final assessment.
And then from getting to that point, how do you know from the vendor coming out, how do you prevent any maliciousness in those? I guess that's my last question I have. Or is there a way to do that today?
There are both cases of malicious vendors that will always say, no problem whatsoever. You know, I reported a bug once to an Asian product, a software, and they fixed the problem, but they changed my issue in the bug tracker to something else and closed it because they didn't want to reveal this. There was no trace of the bug being fixed or security problem. So there are a lot of cultural aspects here as well. The one problem is if someone changes the data on way, and those are problems we are well aware of, we can handle with digital signatures and so on. That's probably something we can have a separate conversation on. But we're also looking into, and have a discussion at FOSDEM quite recently about, can there be a third-party assessment? Can a third party produce a VEX file for your product, saying that I know that there are problems here that are not fixed?
So there's a little more accountability.
And that would be interesting. That could be an authority, that could be a security company, could be something else. But that would give a balanced view where a vendor says there's no problem, but someone else says, yeah, you have a problem, but you haven't got the right people.
So that's quite interesting. So thank you for coming. And
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, VEX is an extraordinary thing. I think that's going to be a big part of our future coming up. And I hope we'll have some more conversations about it. Thanks, Uli.
Thank you.